Obviously, we all love Galactus. He's big, he means business, he's trouble. When he hasn't been creating life and planets in the Marvelverse, he has been devouring. But this big hungry villain can't take all the credit for all the world devouring that he does. He couldn't do it without his trusty heralds, who help him to satiate his hunger. But who are the heralds behind the Galactus? Today we are going to take a closer look at them as we count down the top 10 Heralds of Galactus. Be sure to stick around to the end of this list where I will have some bonus content coming your way. And if you love what we do here at Top 10 Nerds, show us some love by clicking that subscribe button. If you haven't already, that is. But before we dive into this Heralds, it's time for a quick word about this video sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. So many games lately seem to be obsessed with looking cute. Not every RPG game needs to be adorable. Are you looking for something raw, dark, real? Then look no further. I personally started playing this game last year and I love it. There are so many different characters for you to fall in love with. I personally love Whisper and Gallic. Collecting shards in the game allows you to unlock more and more characters, and these characters are stunning. Just look at that detail. Looking to upgrade a character you love? Head to the tavern where you can sacrifice champions to upgrade your favorites. You can also fight alongside your clanmates to battle bosses. You can fight against other players online in the PvP arena. I personally love the campaign mode. Here you can explore the story of the game and fight to earn XP. And if you want to get super dark, head down to the dungeons where 10 different bosses await you. In the dungeons you can get rewarded with artifacts, which will increase the strength of your champions. And the best thing about Raid Shadow Legends is that it's super easy and accessible to play. And now you can play Raid both on mobile and on your desktop. You can also play with the same account on either, allowing you to easily switch between platforms. Future drops will be running through April and include champion Vala, shards, skill tomes, XP boosts, potions, and legendary artifacts. Ooh. If you're an Amazon Prime member, be sure to claim your loot today. It's easy, just click the link below and follow the instructions. And sign up before January 26th to get the all-new epic champion Whisper. If you're a new player, you will get 100,000 silver, 50 gems, 1 energy refill, and 1 free champion adjudicator. And these rewards are only relevant for 30 days. Alright, now let's get counting. Number 10, Destroyer. Destroyer is a reanimated suit of armor that was given to Galactus by Thor, when Firelord no longer wanted to serve as one of Galactus' heralds. Galactus imbued the armor with a small amount of life and had it stand in to replace Firelord. Destroyer only had life while Galactus willed it though. Ultimately, it was Loki who took the armor back to enchant and use for himself. While Galactus was busy dealing with the High Evolutionary, Loki secretly teleported the armor back to Asgard, animated it himself, and sent it after Thor, unsurprisingly. Number 9, Johnny Storm. Galactus forcefully took Johnny Storm as his herald while he had his powers swapped with his sister Sue. Their powers had been swapped to protect her from Zeus, who wanted her dead as her powers were the only thing interfering with him being able to cloak planets in order to protect them from Galactus. While swapping their powers did succeed in deceiving Zeus, Galactus was not fooled, forcing Johnny with invisibility powers to become his herald, allowing Galactus to use him to actually get around the cloaking, so he could still find and devour planets. Despite this, Johnny still did his best to protect as many planets as he possibly could. But you know, you gotta feed Galactus something, right? Number 8, Dazzler. While Dazzler's time as a herald was short-lived, her being granted some power cosmic definitely made for a neat read. Dazzler has always been a mutant who has been underrated due to her disco-inspired look and light powers. But the power cosmic showed us just how powerful her abilities can be. She was recruited by Galactus to rescue his herald Terrax, whom Galactus thought had been lost, when in reality, Terrax was simply hiding from him. Ooh. Dazzler was able to use her powers to defeat Terrax, knocking him out and returning him to Galactus. Pleased, Galactus returned her to her apartment in New York, allowing her to return to her regular life as a performer/mutant. Is that a regular life? I guess for Dazzler it's a regular life. Number 7, Terrax the Tamer. Terrax was originally Tyros, who hailed from the planet Burj. He was a power-hungry and violent dictator of a small city-state on the planet. When Galactus agreed to help the Fantastic Four, he sent them out on a mission in exchange for his help that would allow him to recruit Tyros as one of his heralds. Granting him the power cosmic, he was transformed, much like Norrin Radd, the Silver Surfer, had been, into Terrax the Tamer. Galactus hoped that Terrax's lack of moral code would make him an even better herald than some of the ones he had had previously. Number 6, Firelord. Piraeus was curious about the captain of his ship, who had been been abducted. He suspected Galactus and so attempted to track him down, but it turned out that Galactus found him first. Piraeus suggested all crew abandon ship and surrendered himself to Galactus. The ship was destroyed, but Galactus decided to save him. In exchange for information on what happened to his former captain, he agreed to become Galactus' herald. It turned out his captain Landon had also become a Herald of Galactus, going by the name of Airwalker. After being told this and granted power cosmic, Piraeus adopted the name Fire Lord and had his memories wiped, going on to serve Galactus for quite some time. Number 5. Morg the Executioner. Morg was granted the position of Executioner after he turned his back on his people and his cause. He had been part of a rebellion that was defeated and was offered one last chance to serve the queen he had rebelled against. He agreed. Following being appointed as the Executioner, he was tasked with killing his former comrades, which he did without hesitation. Galactus was impressed by his lack of fear when he first encountered Morg and decided to make him one of his heralds, admiring his lack of remorse. Galactus even granted him enough of the power cosmic for him to rival Silver Surfer in terms of power levels. Number 4. Nova. Frankie Ray was a normal girl until she was exposed to chemicals that granted her powers similar to those of the Human Torch. She became Galactus' herald and adopted the name Nova in order to save the planet Earth when he came to devour it, excited about the prospect of space adventures. Who wouldn't be? Originally, she was a very loyal herald and even came to love Galactus. Nova considered that it could actually be possible that Galactus reciprocated her feelings as well. Is it weird that I ship that? Eventually, however, she would get closer to Silver Surfer than Galactus and even end up betraying and lying to him. Naughty naughty. Number 3. Airwalker. Gabriel Land was captain of the Xandarian explorer the Way Opener. Searching for a replacement for the Silver Surfer, Galactus reached out to Land, who he had deemed worthy of serving him. Galactus abducted Land, who was seduced by the idea of power and adventure offered to him. He accepted and became a loyal herald to Galactus and a friend, adopting the name Airwalker. Galactus was so fond of Airwalker that he had his consciousness downloaded into an android body, thus resurrecting him after he had perished. Airwalker had sacrificed his life for Galactus at that time, so understandably Galactus was like, I kinda wanna keep you around, you're pretty cool. Number 2. Stardust. Stardust was a cosmic being who was non-corporeal. It chose to serve as a Herald of Galactus and was very loyal. At one point Galactus claimed he no longer needed Stardust services, having Silver Surfer to rely on at the time. In an effort to help Galactus with his hunger, Stardust offered up the remnants of his race to Galactus before parting with him for the time being. This floored Galactus, as none of his heralds had really made such an offer before. Most of them were about preserving their home and their people, as opposed to offering them up to him. Number 1. Silver Surfer. The most iconic of them all, Silver Surfer became a quick comic book favorite. Norrin Radd sacrificed his own happy life on his planet with his true love to protect it from Galactus' hunger, and agreed to serve as his herald. Jack Kirby's unique idea for the character actually came out of him being tired of drawing spaceships and typical cosmic nonsense. Instead, he wanted to mix it up and decided to put the Silver Surfer on a flying surfboard instead, allowing him to eternally be the most beach-ready cosmic character in the Marvel Universe. Thank you so much for watching, Nerd Squad, and thank you again to our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. I hope you enjoyed this list. Do you prefer Galactus when he is a hero or when he is a villain? Who is your favorite of his heralds? Let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, it's time to turn to some comments from one of our latest lists, Top 10 Superpowers You Never Knew Jessica Drew Had. The Kidry comments, Amanda, streaming series, weekly, Jessica Jones and Spider-Woman, J2 Investigation Detection Protection Services. Thoughts? Amanda? I love that idea. Two of my favorite heroes and favorite Marvel comic detectives teaming up to sleuth and protect. What could be better than that? Someone called Disney. Archie says, thanks for throwing some love at one of my favorite heroines. The Hulk making her a sandwich was classic. I love when she flirts with him and teases Banner. That was an awesome comic book moment. The personality and wit that Jessica brings to Spider-Woman is what has always made me a huge fan of hers, and I feel like that interaction with Hulk just helps to highlight some of her sparkling personality. And that's all the time we have for comments today. Be sure to comment below for a chance to have your thoughts featured in a future video. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight, reminding you to stay nerdy, YouTube. Need to wait for it to scroll because I talk too fast. Wish I was a performer / mutant. Maybe I am, wait. Would make him an even better herald than some of the ones he had had previously. Speaking of ones that he'd had previously. Number 6. Fire Lord. Turned out his Captain Land had also become a Herald of Galactus. And even end up betraying and lying to him. That's a bad herald. She cute though. Stardust was a cosmic being who was non-corporeal. Is that how you said that? Corporeal? Corporeal? Corporal? Corporal is not right. Corporal's like what you call someone in the military, isn't it? Corporeal. Corporeal? Corporeal? Yeah, that sounds right. How does one say this one word? Non-corporeal. Had really made such an offer before. Most of them were about preserving their home and their people as opposed to offering them up to him. He was pretty surprised. That's a good herald. He's like, you can just eat everyone else that's left. Archie Cookie says, thanks for throwing some love at one of my favorite heroines. Heroines? I always want to say heroine. Boom.